Get it big, get it here. Listen to all your live mixes, live radio programs, and live entertaining and news package programs right here from GTR, Ghana Talks Radio. GTR News. GTR News. We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
Good afternoon. It's time for the afternoon news right here on Ghana Talks Radio. So, to our top stories. Angry youth besiege police station, demand release of persons arrested over flogging incident. Police brutality will no longer be tolerated, Alban Bagbin saying. This and more stories coming up.
We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
So I go by the name Regina Bless. So jumping to our main stories. Some angry youth in Wa besieged the Upper West Regional Police Command on Wednesday evening, demanding the release of the 3 persons arrested for their alleged involvement in the flogging of the 2 youngsters whose sex video went viral on social media. The youth, numbering over 300, pelted stones and burnt tires to demand the immediate removal of the 3 suspects. It took the over 100 police personnel led by the Upper West Regional Police Commander DCOP Peter Indunkura over 2 hours to wait over the angry youth. The Upper West Regional Police Command arrested 3 persons in connection with the flogging of 2 persons over a leaked sex video. The 3 suspects include the person who brought the victims to the palace and 2 sub-chiefs. Reports indicate that the 2 youngsters in the viral sex video were nabbed by some young men in the town who sent them to the Wana palace. The Wana was absent upon their arrival, compelling the young men to take matters into their own hands and deliver punishment. They were given 20 lashes each. The incident has drawn the ire of Ghanaians who have called for sanctions against those involved. Moving to our next story. The Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, has taken on the security apparatus in the country, indicating that the brutality of citizens will not be tolerated anymore. Mr. Alban Bagbin said, "We will no longer tolerate police brutalities in the country. Parliament is the center of this democracy in Ghana. The concept is very clear. We will be forced to take stringent measures to curb this when it persists," he added. The Speaker made the comment as part of the House's consideration of the Defense and Interior Committee's report on the incident of military and civilian brutality in Wa in the Upper West region. The committee recommended compensations for victims and the trial of culprits. Just last month, 2 persons were allegedly killed by police officers. The first, Albert Donko, is said to have been killed by some police officers who picked him up last week in a private vehicle after he allegedly mentioned among friends that he had seen a police officer involved in a robbery incident. A student, Victor Kojo Owusu, was also allegedly killed by police while the youth of Nkraza were protesting over the alleged killing of Albert Donko. 2 months ago, a clash between the youth of Akatsi in the Volta region and police led to the death of 2 people. The youth massed up at the police station to demand the release of an impounded motorbike after police allegedly ran over 3 persons on a motorbike with their riot van. The incident occurred near the Akatsi Training College, resulting in the death of one of the riders. Let's go watch a video.
Two persons have sustained several degrees of injuries after they were allegedly shot by the Akatsi police after Irish youth in Akatsi besieged the Akatsi police station in protest against brutality suffered by them in the area. The deployment of police and military personnel to the troubled area prevented the situation from escalating. Prior to the incident, the rampaging youth were said to have demanded the release of a motorbike
GTR News.
Police on
GTR
Friday
News.
after the police ran down 3 persons on a motorbike with a police rice van near the Akatsi Training College, resulting in the death of one of the riders. The youth say there has been constant abuse by the police in the district, especially on motor riders. According to them, some few months ago, police in the Akatsi district brutalized a young man after he was accused of stealing. The accused later died, which resulted in a misunderstanding between the police and the youth.
I think Akatsi and it's mayhem right now. You know, the police people have killed another youth and then there's confusion at the police station and the police people have shot another youth again. Now, they just killed a youth 6 months ago and they just killed another one again. And it's seriously, you know, it's another thing. They just killed another youth again this early morning. And then the youth are angry because he killed somebody in Okat 6 months, November. We just buried him last month. I have to leave this town before somebody kill me or something like that because the police people these days, you just stay on your own and then Charlie trouble. The guys were riding a bike. They didn't do anything and police ran them over with their car.
A relative of the deceased who was shot earlier on Sunday says the police must face the law and act according to their training and code of conduct.
Right now, I'm very hot. Even when the IGP came to me, I can even hold him down. To tell him, he should just keep quiet for me to talk and tell my feelings. Because when my brother died, even if you, IGP, is your brother, you'll be happy. The policeman that killed my brother, I have to see the policeman. Ask him why he killed my brother for.
So, what are you doing now?
Right now, yes, the question that, the answer and the question is, I want to see the policeman that killed my brother. Why he killed him?
So, how will you see the policeman?
Whether if it is armed robber, criminal, fraudster, I have to know so that I have to face him. When you go to court, you have to go to the court and they say, you see, court is the one you have to stand for the final answer. So when we went to the court and he win me, he win me. If he didn't win me, he didn't win me. And I have to drop his chest down.
GTR News.
When they change us.
So we all saw what happened. The youth are very angry over the police. Yeah, they are over. They are I don't even know what to say. Yeah. So moving on to our next story. It's very sad, but it's disheartening. The way most police people kill youth mercilessly. Yes, it's disheartening. So the police have to be put in order. Yeah, so moving to our next story. Spiritualist sentenced to death for killing his wife and daughter. The Bolgatanga High Court has sentenced a 38-year-old traditional spiritualist in Pawuna, Tindana, for killing his wife and daughter and sacrificing them to his idols. Tindana, charged with 2 offenses of murder under Section 46 of the Criminal Offences Act of 1960, Act 29, pleaded not guilty. But the court, presided over by Mr. Charles A.J. Wilson, Regional Supervising High Court Judge, with an unanimous decision from a 7-member jury, Tindana himself, found him guilty and sentenced him to death. Prosecuting Senior State Attorney Ms. Joyce Deborah said Tindana is a self-acclaimed traditional spiritualist from Kupliga in the Talinsi district of the Upper East region and the husband and father to the deceased, 25-year Talanta Abigail Kurang and 2-year-old Nyapoka Impawana Tindana. According to the prosecution, Tindana had accused his wife and daughter of being witches. Prosecution said on June 27, 2019, at about 16:30 hours, deceased wife, who had gone out of the house, was told by their son that Tindana, who is also the Tindana for the area, had killed his sister and sacrificed her to the gods. Prosecution said the deceased then rushed back to the house and saw the daughter lying dead in a pool of blood with the brains scattered. The prosecution said out of shock, the deceased collapsed and accused pounced and hit her with an axe and a machete on the head, thereby killing her in addition to their daughter. He also hit his son with the machete, but the son managed to escape and was saved by young people who were playing football near their house and later took him to the hospital for treatment. Prosecution said an eyewitness who saw the action could not save them due to an axe and machete Tindana was holding. So she hit herself and later alerted the police, who came and arrested the accused person. Police reports said 2 deceased were found in a pool of blood and discovered an axe and a machete stained with blood lying on the ground beside the deceased. So moving to our next local story. Don't play with weather forecast. GMT to Ghanaians. So Ghana Meteorological Agency GMet has asked Ghanaians not to trivialize its weather forecast in order to avoid disasters. According to a statement from the agency, unlike previously where the agency lacked state-of-the-art equipment to give perfectly accurate forecasts, in recent times, the agency, through the help of the sector minister, Honorable Ms. Ursula Owusu Ankufu, government and other institutions, has seen some level of improvement that has enhanced their service delivery. The enhanced role of the agency makes it important that the general public pay keen interest or attention to weather forecast and every activity of the agency via our social media handles and the traditional media to be reliable informed. This will help address some of the disasters we have encountered in recent times, such as the Chinese fishing vessel that sank on the coast of Ghana between Bawumia and Sekondi in the western region because of a heavy downpour and the lack of preparedness to deal with the perennial floods on the country, the statement added. Ghana Meteorological Agency made another statement today, June 2nd, 2022. A bright and sunny day with cloudiness is expected across the country, Ghana Meteorological Agency has announced. Isolated thunderstorms or rains are likely to affect a few places within the middle and transition belt as well as the upper regions later in the afternoon. The maximum expected temperature in Accra is tropical 32 degrees Celsius, while the minimum temperature will be 25 degrees Celsius. So we're going on a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with the business news. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
Ghana Talks Radio ɛwɔ UK abrochimemu era from Ghana mu ha the sound system which is spinning machine Patapaa every amana ne aba begu oman Ghana mu ha enti sɛ woyɛ ayie woyɛ engagement woyɛ wedding woyɛ birthday party political parties are moyɛ rally sɛ moyɛ asɔre a moyɛ crusade so wo bo carnival or any kind of event na wo pe spinning machine Patapaa ɛbɔ sound no mu ɛdɛ dia ɛne me kanfo GTR sounds ɛde ɛma wo ya wo live band nso a woto nsa ɛde frɛn ya yebetimi ababɛboa ama wo dwumadi a wodie no nso atimi ayɛ kama paa ya wo enkran poponi mantamo anya aponche hotel ɛhɔ pɛpɛpɛ ɛna yebutuo wodi ane sɛ wo bɛfrɛ empanifoɔ ɛwɔ 0546 960510 GTR sounds emu wode angaza
GTR News.
Welcome back from the break. If you just joined, they are live on Ghana Talks Radio, and this is the afternoon news update. So moving to some business news. World Bank clears education minister in $1.2 million training funds controversy. The World Bank has cleared Ghana's education minister of any wrongdoing in the alleged embezzlement of the $1.2 million fund meant for the Ghana Accountability for Learning Outcomes Project, Gallup. Per the bank's records, the Ministry of Education claims of training over 40,000 teachers under the project were verified before the funds were released. The Education Committee of Parliament moved to probe the allegations after some reports indicated that the Ghana Education Service was unaware of the training. In a response to query from Accra-based Joy News, the World Bank said its financing is disbursed against the achievement of pre-agreed and independently verified results. As per the protocol, the Ministry of Education provided the details of the number of teachers trained in using distance learning methods, which were verified by the Development Partners Group and accepted by the World Bank. The financing was released upon this confirmation. The World Bank remains committed to supporting Ghana in its efforts to improve education for all. The man at the center of the accusation, Dr. Yao Osei Educhum, also noted that all the questions they brought to us were responded to. It is generally the procedure. Whenever you do the project, what they do is that they ask you, how did you do this? How did you do that? And you respond. When you respond to their satisfaction, they pay you. So it is a resource linked indicator project. If you have any problem, the money will not be released. They expect you to do the project, then they pay you. So if you are under investigation, they won't pay you, the minister explained. So moving to our next business story. Invest list on local stock exchanges, Bawumia to mining companies. The Vice President, Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, has challenged mining companies operating in Ghana and the entire West African sub-region to work with government and regulatory bodies to establish a mining index on local stock exchanges to allow both the owners and investors in the minerals to benefit from its exploitation. According to the Vice President, the benefit of a mining index on the local bourse are numerous, enabling both the state and mining companies to attract the necessary capital. The Vice President was speaking at the opening of the 3-day West African Mining and Power Exhibition and Conference in Accra. This will require deep collaboration among the local stock exchanges, the regulators, as well as mining firms to incentivize Ghanaians to own listed greenfield exploration projects as the upside on such investment tend to be higher. Petrol prices to rise to 11 Ghana cedis per litre, diesel to go down soon, COPEC said. The Chamber of Petroleum Consumers Ghana COPEC is predicting the price of petrol at fuel pumps may hit almost 11 Ghana cedis by close of the week. However, prices for diesel and liquefied petroleum gas, the LPG, are to reduce by 40 pesos per litre and 17 pesos per kilogram respectively. The National Petroleum Authority, as part of its price deregulation process, employs a 2-week inventory window for the adjustment of prices of petroleum products every month. Currently, the price of petrol at major fuel stations is a little shy of 10 Ghana cedis per litre, while other petroleum products like diesel and LPG are selling for over 10 Ghana cedis per litre and kilogram respectively. The executive director for COPEC, Duncan Amwat, says consumers should brace themselves to pay for more petrol in the coming days if no intervention is made. Petrol will go to almost 11 cedis for this window, while LPG will decline by as much as 17% or some 1.61% for the first window. He further recommended that the Tema oil refinery should be made operational to stabilize the current trend. Getting TOR to work will also forestall some of the challenges we anticipate in the days and months ahead. We impress on authorities to ensure institutions like BOST boosts are not neglected. So we move into some international stories. 4 killed and multiple injured in Oklahoma hospital shooting. 4 people have been killed in a shooting spree at a hospital in Tulsa, Oklahoma, police say. Officers confirmed that the suspected shooter, who was armed with a rifle and a handgun, was also dead. Police arrived at the scene on Wednesday afternoon at St. Francis Hospital in 3 minutes, which they say ensured the death toll wasn't high. Multiple injuries had also been confirmed, officials added. Speaking at a press conference on Wednesday, Deputy Police Chief Eric Dalglish said, "Right now, we have 4 civilians that are dead and 1 shooter that is dead also." He said the shooter, who has not yet been identified, sustained fatal gunshot wounds, which were believed to have been self-inflicted. The suspect had 1 long gun and 1 handgun on the scene at the time. He said no information was available about a possible motivation for the attack. Moving to our next international story, Bill Cosby bounced on scene in Playboy Mansion. Less than a year after his sex assault conviction was thrown out and he walked free from prison, comedian Bill Cosby is facing another allegation in court. Mr. Cosby, 85, is embroiled in a civil lawsuit over a claim he sexually assaulted Judy Hart, now 64, at the Playboy Mansion in Los Angeles in 1975. The case is one of the last remaining legal actions against Mr. Cosby, who has faced numerous abuse claims. He has denied any assault took place and he is not expected to testify. According to a lawsuit filed by Ms. Hart in 2014, the incident took place when she was 16 years old, days after she met Mr. Cosby at Park at Los Angeles, where he was shooting a film. After giving her alcohol as part of a game, Mr. Cosby took her to the Playboy Mansion, she says. There, Ms. Hart claims Mr. Cosby took her to a bedroom and forced her to perform a sex act. During opening statements at the court in Santa Monica, California on Wednesday, a lawyer for Ms. Hart said the comedian has a sense of entitlement and not fear. Nathan Goldberg said Mr. Cosby had pounced on his client and she suffered from serious anxiety after the incident. When other women came forward with stories of their abuse at the hands of Mr. Cosby, it was like a cork poked out of the bottle and all of her buried feelings rushed to the surface, Mr. Goldberg added. So we're now moving to our entertainment story, and it's about Depp-Heard trial. So jury sides mostly with Depp in defamation case. A U.S. jury has found Amber Heard defamed ex-husband Johnny Depp with an article in which she claimed she was a victim of domestic abuse. Juries awarded Mr. Depp, who denied abusing Ms. Heard, $15 million, which is converted in euros, which will be $12 million, in compensatory and punitive damages. Ms. Heard, 36, won one of 3 counterclaims against Mr. Depp, 58, and was awarded $2 million in compensatory damages. The Hollywood stars, who divorced in 2017, presented conflicting versions of their doomed relationship in the trial. Over 6 weeks, the court in Fairfax, Virginia, heard tawdry details of Mr. Depp and Ms. Heard's tempestuous marriage and its unhappy ending. Polls suggested many Americans were more interested in the legal drama than the war in Ukraine or a potentially historic ruling on abortion, expected any day from the U.S. Supreme Court. Coverage of the trial, which was televised and live-streamed, hit billions of views on social media. Let's go watch it.
Thank you, sir. In civil case number CL 2019-2911, Mr. Depp's claim against Ms. Heard. 1. As to the statement appearing in the online op-ed entitled, "Amber Heard, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath," That has to change. In the Washington Post online edition, quote, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change, end quote. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes. Has Mr. Depp proven by a greater weight of the evidence that, question, the statement was made or published by Ms. Heard? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was about Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was false? Answer, yes. Question, the statement has a defamatory implication about Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Question, the defamatory implication was designed and intended by Ms. Heard? Answer, yes. Question, due to circumstances surrounding the publication of the statement, it conveyed a defamatory implication to someone who saw it other than Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven by clear and convincing evidence that Ms. Heard acted with actual malice? Answer, yes. As against Amber Heard, we the jury award compensatory damages in the amount of $10 million. As against Amber Heard, we the jury award punitive damages in the amount of $5 million. Do you find that Ms. Heard has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes. As against John C. Depp II, we the jury award compensatory damages in the amount of $2 million. As against John C. Depp II, we the jury award punitive damages in the amount of $0. Court is adjourned. Thank you.
GTR News. GTR News.
Yeah, so that was how it went. So, Johnny Depp, yes, Johnny Depp, our favorite Johnny Depp, he won the case against his ex-wife. So, moving to our last entertainment story, Patapaa's wife is saying she doesn't have time to explain herself to fools. Excuse me for using that language. So, the estranged wife of Ghanaian musician Patapaa, Liha Miller, has reacted after her husband called out blogger Zion Felix for causing problems in their marriage. Liha Miller has said that she doesn't have time to explain herself to fools, and so whatever is said about her should be taken as such. Her reaction comes just after Patapaa accused Zion Felix of causing problems in their marriage. Zion Felix visited Patapaa's wife in Germany a few days ago. The blogger was seen hanging out and enjoying with Patapaa's estranged wife. They were spotted cruising in an expensive whip and later went to eat fufu at a restaurant. So while some people hinted that Zion Felix was only hooked up with Patapaa's wife for an interview, others warned the blogger to keep things strictly professional with her.
Please, keep it, add yours, edit it, promote it. I don't have time to explain myself to fools.
Yeah, so according to Patapaa, Zion Felix has already caused harm in his marriage. His wife has responded in the video we just watched. So she's saying whatever you hear about her, you can add it, you can edit it, you can do whatever you want to do. It's none of her business. Yes. So it also applies to me. Whatever you hear about me, edit it. Well, in fact, so bet me the makeup account, add makeup to it, and like dress it anyhow you want to, but make sure you don't confront me, you don't come to me and ask me anything about what you heard. Yes, so this is where I end my absent news right on Ghana Talk Show, and as usual I go by the name Regina Blaze. So stay tuned for the lunchtime rhythm.
This is Ghana Talks Radio, the best station rocking the nation.